Okay, there we go. Did I catch up over there, everybody? Blah,
Yep.
blah. All right, welcome to Entertainment is Dead. I am your host, Chuck, and on the cast tonight I've got Tom,
Okay, there we go.
Jacek,
Did I catch up over
that
there,
other
everybody?
dickhead on my show, somewhere around here. Oh, that one,
That's
Steve.
me. I'm the other
All right.
dickhead.
Yay!
So you got to put up with us for the next 45 minutes to an hour. Be excited. All right, tonight we are going to talk about some games that we got, some gracious people that gave us some codes. We're going to go over Grim Fandango and Dying Light. We're going to go over our Dickhead of the Month submission from me for this month. We are going to go over piracy and gaming and how we feel about it. So, I know that Sue's going to give two shits and fucks about what I have to say. Digital over physical. We're also going to go over what everybody prefers. Do you like digital copies? Do you like physical copies? And then at the end, I've got like a little treat for what's coming up next week.
Ooh.
So
It's kind of like a striptease.
yeah, I'm going to show you my titty.
Woohoo.
Just one, not two.
And no nipple. No
yeah.
nipple either.
So
This is a family show.
Kinda.
we got to keep it clean.
Sure.
And just because I'm mad that Tom didn't give me enough time to go down and get beer, I have chocolate milk in my stein. So I'll be drinking chocolate milk out of my stein.
It's like an adult sippy cup.
It kind of is. I am kind of a man-child. So let's do a round robin. I'm going to start with Steve, since he keeps piping up. And I want to talk about what you've been doing this week without really going into Dying Light. Anything else?
No, not much. Destiny.
Bullshit.
Been playing Destiny. Had some really good runs in the hard mode raid on Crota's End.
So
playing-
basically, I'm gonna get on the Steve pedestal right now. He fucking saved our raid this weekend. He had his Titan, and we were at the end of the lamp section, and everybody was fucking dead. And Steve popped a bubble, sat in his bubble long enough to get across the bridge.
Yeah, I just sat there and everyone's like, so don't move and we'll tell you when to run. While the ogre just like blasted somebody's dead body. I'm like, if I don't move, he won't see me.
Don't
Yeah.
look. He can't see you if you
Totally had a
don't
T-Rex
move.
moment with that. Like the ogre was totally focused on. I think it was me or somebody right next to me, and the ogre's just like, and Steve's sitting in his bubble going, "Please God no!" And he got across the bridge. He fucking saved the day. We got most of hard mode completed.
Yeah, it was
So,
loads of fun. It went by really fast too. Like I think if I'm gonna get the flawless raider achievement, it's gonna be in the Dark Below. It's just way shorter and there's no funky Templar glitches or Gorgons that can just wipe you out for simple mistakes.
Yep.
So I think that's
All
what I
right.
want to do.
Yep. All right, moving on. Tom,
Just what am I doing? What am I
what have you
playing?
been doing this week?
So I've been prepping for my panels at Comic-Con. So I've been
Bullshit.
playing. No, I really have. I've been playing Final Fantasy like a fiend. Picked up Final Fantasy X for dirty cheap. On I don't know, a couple weeks ago for my Vita. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI. Just got 3 dragons to go. The cultist tower, and then boom, Kefka's tower, and then game over. So I'm running through that still, and then I've been playing Grim Fandango, which I'm not supposed to go into detail of yet. So
No, we're saving
I'm
that.
saving it, but playing a lot of Grim Fandango and Street Fighter like usual.
The goods.
So I love that you're spending all this time with the RPG section of Comic Con, but you haven't even dealt with the other one. So I sent a text to Tom tonight and I was like, Tom, what makes games good? Because we're on this panel tomorrow. And he's like, I don't know. What makes games good?
That's
I'm
a
like,
great. That's a great
"Fuck."
question. Maybe we'll have to answer that tomorrow. That's future Tom's problem.
What
We'll
makes
open
games
it up to
good?
the audience.
Arcade sticks and RPGs.
Yep. So if you
Oh,
guys,
Japan. That's the proper
if you're
answer.
watching this, feedback at entertainmentisdead.com. Save us. You have 18 hours to do so.
More like you're going to save me from looking like a complete idiot.
Do you want your opinion heard / stolen?
Yes.
Email
Really
us.
good.
Feedback at
Plagiarism.
entertainmentisdead.com.
All right, Jacek, what have you been playing this week?
Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh, yeah, you were saying something about that last
That's
time
right.
you were on.
With your
Well,
hat.
I did not get that hat. I lost it.
Ah,
Lost it.
Did
But it
you
was a
find
pretty
any
sweet
nice
hat.
lovers at the gas station?
Oh, tons, tons. I mean, that's how you R&R in that game. Oh, I also watched videos of a guy, Squirrel, his channel Squirrel, and he went to the offices of Truck Simulator, SCS software, and he spent 4 days with them. He showed off the American Truck Simulator that's coming out in the next year or so, which will have just California to start with because California's big. And then they're gonna do Coach Simulator. So they did like bus driver a few years ago, and they're going back to that with Coach Simulator. So you
Like
can,
Stagecoach?
yeah, like
Oh my
Coach is
god.
the European name for just bus.
Can
So
you?
it's just Bus
Oh,
Simulator.
I was hoping to get like
That was
stuck
a
up by
complete letdown.
bandits and like have like a 6-shooter on me. I was
Oh
really
no.
excited.
Yeah, yeah,
It's called
definitely.
Red Dead Redemption,
Have
and it's
have
amazing.
Good game.
have
I wish
that
it
is
came
such
out
a
for
good game.
PC. I wish it came out for PC. But other than that, I haven't been playing much. Dying Light just the other day and today. That's about it, really.
There's actually rumors floating around that they're still going to do a Red Dead for PC. So
5 years later.
well,
it'll be when
you
the
know.
fabled Steam machines come out.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
Steam machines are already out. They're called PCs.
I have a Steam
What?
machine as well as a PC.
Oh man, I know what I'm gonna nominate for Dickhead of the Month. I'll share it later.
Okay,
Hang tight, internet. It's coming.
okay.
brace yourselves.
So all right,
What about you, Lance?
yay! This is the part I'm really excited to talk about. Steve's like, fuck him.
What have you been doing the past week?
Besides rating, so I got my computer back. I had a local company wipe it for me, and they made me aware of the fact that I would probably have to find my key for Windows 8. When I originally got my Windows 8, there was really nothing like surrounding it that said, okay, you're going to need to hold on to this code. And I mean, that was like 2.5 years ago. And I mean, if somebody said like, make sure you hold on to this code, I probably would have held on to it. So I get my computer home. They showed me where to like find my licensing and stuff like that. So I call Microsoft, or I actually start chatting with them first because my computer's up and running. It's just running like a demo version or something. And they're like, "Well, where have you gotten this?" And I said, I think that I got my serial code from somebody when I worked for AT&T. I think one of the reps gave it to me, and it was like a free upgrade or something like that. And so they're like, well, we have no record of you having it. And I'm thinking to myself, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, and you don't have record of me having your product.
Well, and what's worse is to download those because I got a code. I got my digital copy the same way, and they gave you a redemption code. You had to log into the Microsoft Store and then redeem the software through the redemption code.
Yep.
But anyway, go on.
So I chat with somebody. They basically give me the finger. I say, okay, well, point me in the direction of somebody who can do, take care of this. Let me talk to your manager. Manager doesn't do anything. I probably spent like 40 minutes talking to them, like around in a circle. I'm like, just give me a code. I have a code for 7. Give me the code that I used to upgrade to 8. I know you've got it somewhere. Somebody has to have it. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to have a product that big and have no way to track serial codes.
I mean,
So
you have a
anyways.
product ID which comes with your computer, and you should be able to give it that, right?
So they had wiped the computer. Oh, you mean like a product ID for my computer
Well, yeah.
itself?
If you open up like System on your computer at the very bottom, it should have like product ID, and that should be specific to like your computer or your setup.
That's linked to his original OS, though.
Mm. But then it should still show that there was
It's
an
been
upgrade that
upgraded.
happened.
Like
Yeah.
at some
Yeah.
point, they have to show that he logged in with his Windows Live account and downloaded their legitimate software, right?
Right. There's got to
Yeah.
be some kind of link that they should have access to.
Mhm.
So regardless, I was in this area talking to these tech people. They couldn't help me. I talk to somebody else. He gives me the finger too. Fourth person that I talk to, finally, I start like, I'm like, fuck this. I got to have some copy of something. So I go digging through my Gmail and realize that I had actually gotten the code because I was in the window from when like if you purchased a computer between this time and this time, you got a free copy of Upgrade to Windows 8 when it came out or something like that. Or no,
Mhm.
this one was from Expert Zone. This one that I had. So I had an Expert Zone code from when I was just using that Expert Zone. So they emailed me this code. I'm like, can you use this temporary code? And through my temporary code, he was able to give me my actual serial code.
Nice.
It was ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm long story short, I'm nominating Microsoft for Dickhead of the Month. Not the kid that helped me last, because he was great. Great kid. If you're in customer service, you want this kid to work for you. He was awesome. His name was like, oh shit, I can't remember. It'll come back to me in a minute. Okay, so Dickhead of the Month is Microsoft for me. That's my nomination. I'm going up against Vance's. Sorry,
Shitty
bro.
boss.
I didn't mean to hire you for 5 days and then fire you.
Sorry,
So-
bro. We don't need artists because I'm canceling the game.
Yeah. So I don't know how else to name that. So okay, moving on. That kind of leads into our next topic, which is piracy in gaming. The reason Tom and I actually started talking about what this whole experience and why this is so fucked. And the only thing I could really come up with, and we could come up with, is the fact that I feel like this is Microsoft spending way too much time trying to keep people from pirating their stuff. They're spending tons and tons of money trying to keep people from pirating when they should just honestly just let people pirate. They're not going to stop piracy. Nobody is going to ever stop that.
I mean, look at Eastern Europe. I mean, that's Pirate Bay right there.
Mhm.
Well, not the Pirate Bay, but like pirating area. Like, you can't really find legitimate copies anywhere. I think the Ukrainian government a few years ago was upgrading their computers or something, and it was found out that all of their computers for the government, if not most, were running illegitimate versions of Windows. Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, I just feel like this whole thing has just skyrocketed because of. I mean, I take back and I think back to the times of like when everybody would just pass around shareware, or your buddy had a full copy of Doom or something like that. Like I never paid for.
He's dead.
He never paid for it. Dude, he is time traveling. So while Lance is finding himself in the depth of the internet, he's researching alternate BGP routes to find his way back to us.
Look at that face. He's found God. He's found Jesus. Jesus has appeared to him. Oh no, now he's angry.
Oh no, now there's a problem with this call. Oh, I hope it's not me.
Anyway, while he's not around, I'm gonna.
I died.
Oh, dang it! I had my chance.
Dude, go for it, dude. Dive in.
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, to unlock, I have a Windows Office 97 CD that I actually installed on my Windows 8.1 computer, and it worked. And the key for that is all zeros. So there was a point where no one really cared about it, but I think because there's so much software out there, everybody's like, oh well, you get paid for this stuff now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Microsoft's in a unique position as well, because if you think about it, because Lance and I, when we were talking on the phone, I was like, Apple gives their OS away at this point, right?
Yep.
Like, you just upgrade for free. Linux is free.
However, you can't really pirate a copy of Apple and make it work on any computer.
Right. It's a pain in the ass, and it kind of hit me like, well, that's the difference, right? Like they're selling Apple's Linux isn't, but Apple's selling hardware. Right? Like, those guys are pushing hardware out the door. Oh, we lost Steve.
Hello.
Back. So Apple's pushing hardware out the door. Microsoft kind of is. I mean, in their mobile division, but realistically, that operating system, that's what they're selling.
Yeah, that is Microsoft's job. That is what they started out with, and that's what they're doing still.
And so that's the big difference. But there's got to be a way. I mean, there's got to be a way for them to move that monetization to the App Store. And the other point I wanted to make is I do feel like the situation Lance had, I feel like I'm partially responsible for that.
Yeah, I think we all are.
And because I've stolen my fair share of Windows. And, in college, they gave us a free copy with our major. Yeah. And, dude, I had that thing running on so many PCs. I can't believe that key didn't get blacklisted. So So, Lance, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got Microsofted.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm just as responsible for this, dude. Before I got cut off, I was just saying, I never paid for shit. I always had somebody who gave me a copy, burned me a copy of Diablo, burned me a copy of something.
Right.
You know, like I didn't ever pay for software. And I mean, there's plenty of computers I had that didn't have a legit copy of Windows because I wanted to format my HP down to nothing and not have bloatware on it and just have Windows. So,
I
but
mean,
it's
and if you want to take it to the gaming level, I think there are two developers, the ones that really are sticklers about DRM and the other ones that aren't. And I think one of the reasons why The Witcher has gotten so much traction around the world is because CD Projekt always releases The Witcher DRM free.
Yep.
And even if you pirate it, you're still playing their game, you still like the developer, you may eventually buy the game. I mean, I know and I remember times when I pirated a game and I liked it so much that I actually bought the actual copy. So,
because you like support the people that made the
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that because I feel like there's so much of, I say this again, it's like the music industry in the 90s. There's so much of this, like, Assassin's Creed or Halo or something that they just put out a copy of something and say, fucking buy it, $60, give me your goddamn money. And you have no idea if the product is that great or is actually working that well.
But I
And
think that's also a problem with the consumer. The consumer nowadays just jumps on everything day one, buys it, without looking and waiting to see if there are issues with the game. I mean, that was the problem with Unity. I mean, a lot of people jumped on that game, and then it turned out to be pretty buggy and crap, really. So I think it's partially the problem with the consumers is they're just willing to shell out that $60 on day one.
Steve, you've been awfully quiet. What do you think?
yeah, go ahead, Steve. Talk about
Go for it.
piracy.
I've
And
never
comment.
pirated any Windows before.
You never have?
No.
That's impressive.
On record.
He's an IT
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I'm an IT guy. I've never had a need. I've always had opportunities to get it for inexpensive or whatever.
That's
I have
true.
I have pirated the Adobe Suite
Mm-hmm.
because I got one license for school, but then at some point I needed a bigger suite than what I had. But
Plus the suite is like $1,000, $2,000.
yeah, it's like $2,000. I'm like,
Now it's cloud. Now it's like $100 a month.
yeah,
Well, that's still
depending on-
$100 a month.
Oh yeah,
Per-
it's insane. It's expensive.
It's like depending on which app you want and whatever. But
yeah.
I think it's great. Microsoft's giving out Windows 10 for free. That's awesome. It's like,
For
hey,
the
have
first year. Yeah.
a free upgrade. It's like, we want you to adapt our new stuff. Have it for free. I think that's awesome.
If
think-
you have 7, 8, or 8.1, though, and it's only for the first year.
Right. So anything released in the past 6 years, you get upgraded to the latest version for free.
So the only real reason you'd have to buy Windows 10 is if you were building a new PC.
Yes.
If
And
you had
didn't
no
have Windows 7 key.
right, you had no operating system to start from, or you're running something older than Windows 7.
And we still run into, in the tech support, people running XP. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I still have servers that are 2003 servers. They go out of support officially in April, and they're gone forever. But I think piracy is important. I think companies that work and make a product deserve to be paid for it, and I don't think that they should be lax on it. Right? If they make money to protect their stuff, right? They're just trying to make sure they continue to make money.
So I'll agree with that, but I'll say something. I'll quote Gabe Newell, and I quoted him the last time we had this debate a year and a half ago or whenever it was. Gabe Newell puts piracy forward as a customer service problem,
Yeah.
not a theft
That's
problem.
exactly what this was.
And the way I feel about it is exactly it, because when I worked at a video game company and we had modded 360s and modded Xboxes and modded Wii's for that matter, there was a time when I had every game we sold on a burned DVD in a wallet, and we could play anything we wanted, right?
Right.
Because it was more convenient. But once I started getting into digital gaming, once I got Steam loaded up, started building a PC, I haven't pirated anything in years on the gaming side because for me it's easier if I can get it, especially with a good internet connection. It's like I can install this game in 11.5 minutes, and it's going to cost me, especially with Steam, $5 to $60 depending on how badly I want the game.
Yep.
It's not worth the time at that point to go through the process of hacking it, downloading it, pulling
Absolutely.
it. Because, and that's the thing they need to figure out is the companies
What's
that
the
are
price?
that concerned
What's the
about
right
it.
price?
Yeah, they need to find a better pricing structure, and they need to find a delivery method that is convenient. Assassin's Creed's DRM on PC is ridiculous. Downloading Assassin's Creed 3, which I purchased through Steam, my first time installing it, loading whatever that Ubisoft bullcrap that they
Uplay.
were tying, Uplay,
Mhm.
creating a Uplay account, signing in. So now I have 2 content management systems running on my computer to play one game. That's too much. Steam. I
Yeah.
think Steam in and of itself is a deterrent for piracy because it's so good at what it does. And
Yeah,
even
that's
with
true.
console, I'm never going to pirate a console game again because there's constantly sales hitting on the Xbox One. There's constantly good stuff coming through for the PS4. There is no lack of what I can play with PlayStation
And
Plus games with
Blu-
gold.
Blu-ray burners are expensive.
Oh
Yes.
God, right? Yeah,
Right.
I
they
mean,
are.
one thing that's worked out well for me is I've never been burned by like DRM, right? I've
Mhm.
never had a company say, well, because we're so DRM specific, I've gotten burned. Or I've never had the case where I needed my key to something and someone couldn't provide it to me.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe I'm a little biased in that scenario where I've never been burned by it, where it's never affected me in a negative way. So I don't care what their privacy things are because I'm paying for them, right? It's never affected me in a bad
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But I'm also a stickler with all things IT related. I keep product keys and serial keys and all that shit. Like if Lance
Yeah.
had bought his like a disc from Best Buy, right, and it wasn't a digital download thing, he would have been screwed, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can't expect Best Buy to keep track of every transaction they have. You're like, but I paid with this debit card. They're like, no, it doesn't matter, man. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
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 So, with any other retailer other than, Microsoft being the multi-billion-dollar company that they are, it's unreasonable for us to be like, you should keep trail of all my shit for me.
No.
Well, no,
but in this
there's got to be
case,
there's got to be some kind of system in place to keep track of where a serial code is used. I mean, if AT&T can track every serial code for every phone that's out there, then I'm just using that as an example, or any wireless carrier,
Mhm.
they've got to show that there's got to be something that shows an upgrade to an operating
well, and
system.
I think from a consumer perspective, it comes in both ways, right? Like if they're going to expect that their consumers follow every single policy of theirs, right? And they're going to be so uptight and strict about it, then it's on them to make it easy for the consumer to follow that. And
Yeah.
and so what made the whole situation for me that made it asinine is the fact that to download that upgrade, he had to sign in with his Windows Live ID and utilize that purchase code. So the fact that there was no record of that ever happening
Yeah, that's
is
crazy.
is insane.
That is,
Like
Because
yeah.
that's
my,
the whole crux for me.
my Xbox transactions, I can go see everything I've bought through my Xbox for the entirety of my Xbox.
Yeah.
Same with my
Yeah.
PlayStation.
It's
Yep.
weird that you
Or-
don't see that for Windows.
Well, and
The one-
Yeah, we got to. Well, so
The one thing I have to say about the Microsoft and keeping track of this product was used with this serial number is there's nothing. The reason I think they don't do that is because there's nothing static about a PC. Motherboards can change. NICs, MAC addresses will change. There's nothing that identifies this machine as the same machine 5 years later, right?
However, there are limitations to how many times you can change out your hardware in a PC before Windows key no longer works. I think
yeah, I think
up
it's
to 3 times with your motherboard. I think that's what it is. Everything else you can change out as many times as you want, but if
motherboard.
you change the motherboard out 3 times, then your key no longer
Right.
works. That's the last time I know. But
Yeah,
it
so
just changed
that's
since then.
I think that's why Microsoft doesn't try and keep track of those things, right? It's good that they associate it with this temp key or whatever, but
Mhm.
like for them to say, well, hey, I had a different motherboard at this time, but I swear it's me. It probably they're just like, fuck it, right? We're not even going to try.
Yeah.
That's my
Alright.
thought.
Yeah,
we
and
we
that
need to move on.
okay. Well, and just
We're moving this bitch on.
all right. He's moving on. I'm letting it cut me off. Go.
All right. So next we want to talk about. Let's talk about the games that will release this week and what you guys got your hands on. I personally, I know what Grim Fandango is. I'm curious about Dying Light.
I am pretty curious about Dying Light as
So
well.
you two got to play it because you're gracious bosses. I like to say that. Gave you the game, so
Hey, I played it.
tell us- yes.
No,
tell us
shout
about
out to what's the studio that published it? The studio that
Oh.
developed it. Is it Techland?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout outs to Techland for getting us some review codes.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
thank
was
you.
really. Thank you. Yeah.
I would have liked if you get an Xbox One, send it my way, please.
Dude, this game
Mhm.
is meant to be played on a PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really
It
is.
is such a great port. It runs so great on a PC and it looks amazing. Like,
Oh yeah. I can
ambi-
I couldn't
ambient
stop
background?
taking. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I couldn't stop taking screenshots of it.
What configuration do you run on your PC?
I have a monitor that's 1440 by 2560 with a 680 GTX.
Okay.
So that's at high. I was able to play it at high. And
Did you notice? I noticed that my frame rate dropped, and my CPU would max out a lot. It is. I don't
not have that issue.
Yeah, there were some times when I dropped below 60 frames, and I don't know if it's because I was displaying on a large screen TV so my wife could watch, but I noticed I would have CPU spikes, and I as well run a GTX 680,
Nice.
and it would my CPU would spike out like 92, 93%.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very strange. In order for me to resolve that, I had to drop my depth of field down pretty low.
Did you update to the latest driver? Because the newest driver did come with dying light fixes.
Yeah, because I had those features for the anti-aliasing and stuff. Yeah, and
Okay.
I used Shadowplay to do some screen capture and stuff, and it ran really well. But anyway,
Tech aside, let's give us a
Yeah,
quick
let's
summary.
talk about the game.
Let's talk the story. Like, give us a quick summary
All
of what
right.
the premise is.
So go
have
for
you
it,
guys
Steve.
have you guys played Dead Island?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you like
it's a
it?
Polish game.
No.
I liked it.
Didn't like it?
I've heard
You play-
really good things.
Did you play Mirror's Edge?
Yeah, I love Mirror's Edge.
Okay, this is a really cool combination between the two. I think it's very Dead Island-y feel, but it's not nearly as stagnant. I think the main character has actual depth now. It's a great story. It's super cool.
Yep.
There are some really great emotion that come from the character you play as, Crane.
Oh yeah.
How many hours into it are you?
Let me see here. In my Steam, it says that I am at Dying Light. Let's see here. I am 3 hours in.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not quite that far into it, but there are some things I really like. It has some crafting, repair features into it, some kind of RPG of I'm going to upgrade this rusty pipe and I'm going to fix it when it breaks, and some really awesome environmental things. I think we're in the Middle East. The town's called Harem that you're in. Maybe it's some fictional country or anything
It's
like
weird.
that.
The accents change a lot. So if you don't know what Dying Light is, it's another zombie survival, story-based game where you start out as this like spec ops guy that's infiltrating this infested area. It's not quite, all around the world. It's just contained to this one area, and you jump down. Things happen. You get rescued by the good guys, or what you think is good guys. You're sort of double-sided because you help them, but you're still helping your own agency, and you try to survive, try to help them out with anti-zombie medication, and basically that's it really so far. And you have a bad guy group that you're trying to fight against. So basically your objective is to find this one guy that has some top secret documents, and it basically will determine the future of survival of humanity. So that's basically the synopsis of the game so far. What struck me the most that I liked is, you see this in especially the new gen consoles, is seamless transitions between gameplay and cutscenes. Yeah, and this game did it very well. I think, like, I could not tell when the cutscene ended or the gameplay ended, and it transitioned beautifully between the two. And how it did traveling through, let's say, elevators, it did it very well, I think. You don't feel like you're losing time. You don't feel like it's just a cutscene that you just quickly jump down. I like it so far. And I'm not one to like zombie games because I'm kind of over that fad. But it's a fun game.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of multiplayer in it?
Yes.
What is that? What is the multiplayer co-op, or is it versus?
Both.
Or both?
So
Nice.
there's the co-op. After you finish the prologue, you can do co-op. And then in the main menu, there's one called Be the Zombie. And I think that's online gameplay where it's sort of like what's the Gary's mod? I think it's
Left
like
4 Dead?
not quite. It's Gary's mod where there's a hunter. There's predator and prey. I think it's called prey. But basically there's a guy in that Gary's mod where you're sort of trying to find, and he kills you, and he's stealthy. In this one, there's a monster, a zombie monster, and you're soldiers trying to take him down. So
Cool.
that's the second part.
Nice. That sounds fun.
I haven't
it's-
tried either one, but it should be fun.
It's really fun. It's very nice to have many objectives along with your main storyline. You can build reputation with NPCs, doing mini quests for them, helping them with side things. Like I said, there's the crafting aspect of you can find materials to make certain things better. It's really fun. If you like the Dead Island series, you'll really like this. It's good exploration. The game world is just looks beautiful. It is amazing.
So you guys have the game, and you get to
Yes.
keep it. But if
Thank
you
you.
were to go out and buy this game, what would be a price point you'd put on it that you would feel? Do you feel like it's a full 60, 50,
$40. $40.
$40? You'd buy it for 40?
Yeah.
So sale for $40.
Mhm.
Steve,
Yeah, I'd say 50.
say 50.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like the Dead Island series. I know they make good games. I've played them before. Yeah, I'd go 50. I'd maybe go $60 if I knew for sure I'd have some friends I could do some co-op with at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, I could see the 50 because I'd never heard of Techland before, I don't think, or I haven't been aware of them
Before
before.
Dead Island or before Dying Light?
Before Dying Light. Maybe they did. What else did they make? Did they make Dead Island?
Dead Island, yeah.
Okay, so
And they made Chrome, which was a shooter, and a
since
couple other
then,
games.
but since then I haven't heard much from them. So they pulled off a pretty good game with very good voice acting, and the characters in it. One character, Jade, I feel like she's very real. Like she feels very real in how they presented her.
He's having dreams about her.
So
Nice.
real quick, just to
Maybe.
respond to chat, I agree, Indian Man. I did not like Dead Island, but we're not putting shoes on our head. Who do you guys think the target audience would be for Dying Light?
Zombie video game lovers, crafting game lovers, those kind of people.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Cool.
Would you say it would be? Do you feel like the multiplayer is competitive enough for somebody like me?
No.
Okay. Good enough. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
My copy was well placed.
Thank you.
Can I gush about Grim Fandango yet?
Absolutely,
I
go
wanna gush about
ahead.
Grim
I
Fandango.
know we got 2 copies of that too, so I want to hear
Oh.
about it.
Yeah, so Vance didn't make it tonight, but basically as we're talking to him about it, is that why no one is watching? Who's this Liftstar? I don't know. Anyway, so Grim Fandango, if you didn't play it, I don't know what 20 years ago when it came out, it's one of the classic games from first person. My friend Niger, the shout out. Sure, shout out Niger. So it's
I don't know if I want to
it's a
say
great
that
setup,
out
man.
loud.
The classic adventure game, right? Point and click adventure, made for the PS Vita, also made for PC. They did it for PS4. I really like the Vita port. The best thing about it is they really cranked up the lighting. So it went from, minimal lighting. Did Steve just die? We lost Steve.
I think he
Bye,
did.
Steve. So the lighting effects are really, really cool, and you can actually toggle between the two. That's probably my favorite part.
I'm
Toggling
split between two.
Those two pieces is the ultimate. So if you like classic adventure games, go pick it up for $15. You get it on both systems, PS4 and Vita. I think PC it's 15 as well. Vance was saying on PC though it crashed on him a ton. So I haven't played the PC copy myself. Let us know if you're running into crashes, but it's a classic, man. I cannot wait to finish this one, and then as soon as they get Maniac Mansion back out, I'm super stoked. So shout out for the review copy from them. I appreciate it. Really, really cool game. Stoked to play some more of it. The end.
The end.
There's my rant.
All right.
I have lost all sound. I can't hear anything you guys are saying. Can you hear me?
What?
Am I dead?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thumbs up. It's all
Anyway.
about sound. All right, we lost
What in the hell just
Steve.
happened?
Steve's dead, and
I can't hear you, but I can see. The audio's working. That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we had one more topic, but I'm just gonna drop it. We'll get back to it at another time, I think, considering time. I just want to talk about one more thing. We're gonna be starting a new thing, kind of like Dickhead of the Month that we're gonna do. And I didn't really decide on a title. If anybody in chat could think of something better, but basically this is what we're gonna do. We are going to bring up games that we all hated. It could be games that we own. We'll choose one probably we'll do one a month, or a game that we want to sit and rip on people for, and we're gonna stream it on Twitch. I think one of the first ones we're gonna do is I have this copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Unity that's just been
Mhm.
sitting here since I bought my Xbox, and I've been trying to sell the piece of shit, but I can't sell it.
Hey,
Yeah, so I
Black
think
Flag is great, man.
we're gonna stream it, and we're gonna talk shit on each other while we're playing it, and troll each other, and maybe do some voiceover work. I might have Steve like do a Skype call, and everybody can just like talk shit to me while I'm playing it or something. I'd actually rather that somebody else played it so I could just talk shit to them, like Tom.
Mhm.
But I could go first if needed. So we're just thinking something like that, and we're gonna call it "Come at Me, Bro." I think for right now, unless anybody else has any other suggestions, I don't see anything from the chat yet. I don't know if you saw anything, Tom.
Okay.
But I don't know if Steve's coming back, and I don't really have anything else for tonight. So I say, fuck it, let's go. I'm done with this shit. Oh, FanX. All right. Yeah. So
Hi.
we are going to be on some panels this weekend, starting tomorrow at FanX. If you're live or local, sorry, in Salt Lake, or you're coming to Salt Lake for FanX, Tom and I will be on the panel tomorrow night for what makes games good. It's at 7 o'clock. I don't know the hallway or anything yet. You'd have to look it up. What was it? Ballroom B. We can
Oh,
go
that's a big
ballroom
one.
dancing after. Yeah. Did you have one more? You have the. Are you on the big shiny one?
Mhm.
If you're at the con, send us tweet at us. We'd love to meet you and hang out and say hi. And if you're gonna be down there, I'll be down there for Thursday night, Friday night, and then part of Saturday. I don't really know what part yet. Uh, but Tom's gonna be there most of the time. I think Steve will be there most of the time. Mandy will be there if you like Mandy. Um, anything else you want to cover with FanX, Tom? All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I just want to do some quick. If you don't have us on Twitter, check us out at Thomas Winkley, at Chuck Sweat, at Jack or Jake for Jacob, at Randy Dildo 5000, Steve at Steve Gives. Mandy is at Mandy on Twit. I don't think she even checks that shit. And I don't know what yours is, Jacek. Is it at the Polish Mario?
The Polish Mario on YouTube. I don't really do that much, and also on Twitch.
Okay. And special guest in the back at Yasek's house.
Yep, special guest roommate.
All right, Internet. We love you. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye now.
Bye. Bye.